Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Andrea, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to get started with tutoring online and making your very own tutoring business. So, I've been teaching and tutoring since I was 19 years old. It's been about 21 years now, and I went from tutoring students in person at the subway station where I would just bring a bunch of textbooks and just read chapters and teach them that way to really upscaling the business to have everything being done online where I teach and tutor multiple students at once. There are also individual packages that students can sign up for, but I make at least six figures every single year teaching, tutoring online and from home. Nobody ever says, I wish I wasn't a tutor, or nobody ever says, I wish I didn't work from home. And that's the amazing thing of it. You can tutor online from the comfort of your own home, and your students can be in the comfort of their own home too. Who doesn't love that? But let me go through the basics with you so you know exactly what to do, how to get started, what to think about, and really how you want your tutoring business to run. The first things first is you're going to need to think of what topics or topic you're going to be teaching. Are you going to be teaching children? Are you going to be teaching adults? Maybe it's a little bit of both depending on the topic. So I'm actually going to start here with your niche, okay? So this is absolutely true. So you just need to think what you want to teach. Now you might be wondering, Andrea, I don't really know what I want to teach. I just know I want to teach something. The first thing to think about is teach what you want to. Teach what excites you. Think of something that you can talk about all day long, all day, any day. That's the topic that you want. As an example, I teach dental hygiene and dental assisting students because I was a dental assistant. Now I'm a dental hygienist who has her own mobile dental hygiene business. But what I do is I teach dental hygiene and dental assisting students while they're still in their college program. I also teach them how to pass the board exam. And then I teach them individual topics that you have to know as a dental professional, such as oral pathology, pharmacology, anatomy, all of that. So that is my niche. I'm teaching basically dental hygiene and dental assisting students. My niche isn't teaching math. English plus dental plus how to make crafts plus how to start an Etsy shop. Mine is very specific. And I suggest you being specific too, because you don't want to have, too many hats in one basket or whatever that term is, because then you're not doing anything very well. So this might take you time to think about it, but think of what you want to teach. And this will also help you in, are you going to teach kids? Is your topic teaching high school students? Is it college students? Or possibly it would be adults where they need to learn certain things to get into a college program, or they're in a particular program and that's what you're teaching them. Typically, what you're going to teach them is, of course, something you already know, something you have experience with, but you just teach in a certain way that helps them understand it so much better. So, as I mentioned here, pick what you know best. Okay. You don't want to pick something that you have to learn yourself, because then you really aren't the best tutor for that person if you've had to relearn it yourself anyway. Now, some ideas, some topics could be math, reading, homework help. It could be test prep or certain topics, like I had mentioned before, or it could be things like teaching college students their topics, or how to write a particular essay, how to pass their college programs. Or what about adults and professionals? You'll be teaching them the skills they need to get into their chosen career, or language, or something along those lines. Okay, so picking your niche, I would say, is the most important. Now, what do you need to teach, to tutor online? So, this full Canva PowerPoint here, you will see this in my Tutor Mentor ASAP free study guide. So I will leave the link for you guys down below. You can You can download this full thing for free. Plus, there's videos inside that study guide where I kind of explain things a little bit further too. So that might be helpful to you. But now, what are some tools that you need? So, this might be obvious, but you need a computer or a laptop in order to teach online. I use both. I even use my iPad sometimes, but I would say specifically my tutoring setup is right here, where I have my computer, a large monitor, I have a webcam, and I have a ring light, which you can't see, but that just helps to bring more light into my space. Now, I would say you don't necessarily need a ring light to get started because typically your students aren't going to care if, let's say, it's not bright lights that they can't see you perfectly clear because when you teach and tutor them, they'll be in their own space with their webcam too, and they're not going to have a ring light. So they will understand why you might not have one. But this is just something extra that I do suggest you have. And I can't imagine living without one, but I teach all day, every day. So it just kind of adds a little more quality to my teaching classes. Now, what online tutoring platforms would you want? There's Zoom and I would say Google Meet are the most popular. This is where you can quickly log in. Your student can see you, like you can see me now, and then you can also see them. So you can share your screen, which I'm doing now. You can then upload that video for them so they can watch it later on. You can record your tutoring session. You can hear them talk, they can hear you talk. So that's basically an online platform. I use Google Meet for that. Or if I'm recording a video, I can use that. Or I use Canva, Canva, to record. But I do talk more about that in my full study guide class. So that might be very helpful to you. But then what else might you need? You're going to need a microphone. Okay. So you can't see mine, but I do have one here, or a headset with a microphone. There's nothing worse than trying to teach and tutor a student when you do have a webcam, but the microphone's on the webcam and it's not the best microphone. So they can hardly hear you or it just doesn't sound good. So definitely invest, in my opinion, in a good webcam and a good microphone. And by investing, a good webcam could be anywhere from $60 to $200, and a good microphone could be anywhere from, I would say, $200. It doesn't have to be 2000, but I wouldn't buy one for $20 because it's you're just not going to have that quality. Now, there are digital writing tools if you're kind of sharing something in a digital space, such as your even cell phone, tablet, iPhone. There are different things there, your Apple iPad or a tablet of some kind. I don't use that as much. I just typically create slide presentations, share my screen or Google Documents, and that's kind of what I do. I do use Canva a lot to create my documents, slides to make things look pretty. So I don't really use my iPad or phone for anything, but it really depends on how you want to run your business. Now, let me quickly talk about the platform that I specifically use for my tutoring business, and that is podia.com. So Podia. This is where I upload everything, my teaching documents, when I do a teaching video, when I record a video, anything gets uploaded in there, and my students sign up specifically to that course or program or their tutoring session. They just have to log in and it's all right there for them. I highly recommend them. You can even get started for absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything to kind of see if you like it. And what I like about it too is it makes you a website at the same time. So I talk more about that in a little bit. Um, you can either have a website or social media or both, but don't worry, I talk about that a little bit later. Now, as I mentioned before, good lighting helps. So that's where the ring light comes in. Let's say you want to tutor in the evening time and you have your overhead light on in your room. Well, if the lighting's not very good, that might be difficult for your student to see you. So a ring light does help to just basically focus the light on your face and it just makes you look better, less sloppy, but a ring light could be anywhere from $100 to $500 to more. It's not an absolute must when you first get started. No student will ever say, "Oh, I wish she had a ring light." But they will really notice you being more professional the more professional tools and equipment you do have, but it's not needed right away. And Canva is my last point. That's what I was talking about. I create everything in Canva, including this slideshow presentation that you see now. It was super easy, took me probably 10 minutes, but I would say it looks pretty professional. Now, next one, how are you going to price your tutoring services? So, how are you going to charge your students? You are going to charge either per hour or per package deal. I highly recommend a package deal, even if it's like 3 tutoring sessions for this price and then giving them a discount. Like you could charge $100 for your tutoring sessions per hour, but that doesn't sound as enticing to students as saying, I'm going to charge you $250 for 3 full hours of tutoring. So you're giving them a deal, and $250 is less than $300, but you're still making great money. But I talk about more of that inside my Tutor Mentor ASAP Academy, where I go through all of these in detail with you, how to price, why this is what I recommend. So don't worry, I do talk about that if that is something you are interested in. But then you also have to think of things like factors affecting your pricing. You don't want to charge too high and not too low. If you're charging $20 a tutoring session, are you okay to make $20 per hour? You might say, "Oh my god, yeah, that sounds amazing. I would love to make $20 per hour because I'm not making anything now." Or maybe you're working somewhere where you're making minimum wage, so $20 per hour sounds amazing. That is up to you. And then eventually you can start to raise your prices. But you also don't want to start at $100 per hour and you're marketing to like grade 5 students teaching English. Of course, they're not paying for it, it's their parents, but that is just such a big price that a lot of people wouldn't be willing to pay that. And maybe try to research other tutors in your area. What are they charging? Feel free to post on a Facebook group saying, "Hey, any math tutors out there? I'm just curious how much you pay per hour if, let's say, you want to tutor math." See what they're charging and go from there. That really makes a big, big difference. Now, how are you going to accept payment? So, when I have my tutoring programs, students pay online. I have something set up through Stripe, which is right here. That's just the best one for me because it's the easiest for them to pay online. I can add in my tutoring products, tutoring sessions easily through that website service, Podia. That's what I use, but it's up to you. You can use PayPal, email money transfer, cash, whatever works for you. Now, talking about pricing again, just please remember you don't want to charge too high, you don't want to charge too low, but you might be wondering, well, Andrea, how am I supposed to know what to charge? I've never done this before. I can help you. Feel free to send me an email. I am more than happy to help you kind of decide what to do there. Now, how are you going to find students? And this is going to happen quicker than you think. Thank goodness for social media. That's the best way to find students. Students that I've taught before, like how to start their own tutoring business, what they did is they would just simply post in a Facebook group, depending on their subject. Let's say they're teaching math or reading comprehension, or they're teaching English, or they're teaching college prep. They would simply post in a Facebook group for their city or anywhere because you are tutoring online. Post and say, "Hi, I would just like to introduce myself. I'm a math tutor. I teach students from this age to this age. If anybody's interested, I do teach privately. Here's my website. Feel free to ask me any questions." And everybody always messages them. People are looking for tutors. This is a highly sought industry because we all want to learn something. We all need the additional help. Hey, when I was in high school, I would have loved to have a tutor help me. When I was in college, I would have loved to have a tutor. Who doesn't want a tutor, right? Everybody does, whether it be they want to take courses to learn a skill or they want a tutor to teach them. They want a coach to teach them. So this is a amazing industry to get into. And then word of mouth and referrals is going to happen over time. The more students you teach, the more people know you are a tutor, they will start telling people. When you meet somebody new and they ask you what you do, say, I'm a tutor. I work for myself online. That just helps to get people interested. They will ask you more. And then that's how word of mouth spreads. There are tutoring platforms where you can sign up and say, I'm a tutor for this subject, and then people reach out to you. So that's another option. And what you could do too is to offer a free trial or at the very least a free consult. So let's just say you are a dental assisting tutor for the dental assisting board exam, and you are going to offer free 15-minute consult where a dental assisting student can reach out to you and say, like, hey, how do you help me pass the board exam? What do you do? Can I just talk to you a little bit more? I'd love to learn more about your tutoring program. So free consults really, really help, and it helps to build trust. So they know you're not just some old man in your basement who's teaching dental assisting students who's never been a dental assistant before, but you're going to take all of their money. It does help to build trust. I personally don't do any free consults anymore. I used to, but it's because people know me. People have seen me on YouTube, Instagram, social media, where they know me like I'm a real person. But until people know you, that would be a really good thing to offer. Now, how are you going to structure your lessons? And again, this is up to you. I can help you with this if you're just absolutely not sure, but what I do is I have tutoring courses that students sign up for. And then once they log in, they will see all the pre-recorded teaching videos, documents, study guides per module that they just simply read through on their own time, but then we have live classes as a group every Monday or Tuesday or Sunday night. And that's how I teach my students. If I'm teaching students individually, then I pretty much ask them what they need help with specifically. Let's say they need help with taking x rays. Then I will prepare resources that I have made already on tips and tricks on how to take x rays. I have images already there for them because I've made them for other students. And then we come online like this where I teach them, they ask questions. I teach them more, they ask questions. So another great thing to think about in how to teach your lesson is don't just teach the lesson as in you're talking, 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 and then an hour later say, okay, do you have any questions? It's best to teach the lesson of you're teaching them something, give them time to ask questions, or maybe you're asking them questions that they have to answer. And if they're confused, if they're not sure, then stop and reteach them, re-clarify that certain topic or that, paragraph. Whereas if you just talked for the full hour and then at the end they're like, okay, can we go back to number one? I didn't understand that. You're not allowing that flexibility. So it's good to be flexible as well. And it's good to be engaging. There's nothing worse than having a tutoring lesson where you're just reading off the slides like this, and then at the end asking if they have questions. So it's kind of the same thing. Be interactive. Ask them questions, have them fill out a quiz, just like have it be fun, and give them homework. I highly recommend giving them homework, or at the very least, send them a document afterwards saying, this is what we learned today. This is what you should know by the end of the class today. Here's some questions for you to test your knowledge. And this is what we're going through at the next class. This shows them you are somebody to trust. This shows them you are a professional, and they're going to keep coming back to you. And guess what? They're going to recommend their classmates to you because you've helped them. You've done such a good job. If you're dealing with kids, then you're probably also dealing with their parents. So you'll be sending that to the children, but also their parents, what the kid learned, what they had trouble with, what they need improvements on, asking them questions to really test their knowledge, and then letting them know what you're doing at the next class and maybe even how to prepare for that. So that's a really, really good tool. Now, how are you going to market yourself? So, I talked about this a little bit. You can create yourself a website, and I do show you how to do that in the Tutor Mentor ASAP Academy, a very simple one where it's just basically who you are. It's just one page, maybe two, who you are, who you tutor, what you can do for them, and then how they can contact you afterwards. Easy peasy. You don't have to worry about coding, doing anything specific. It is literally drag and drop. Text here, image here, contact me here, put in your contact info. You pick a couple pretty colors, put your logo there, and that's it. That's how you market yourself as a tutor. You might be wondering, I don't have a logo, I don't have documents, I don't have pictures of myself. What do I put on the website? Don't worry, I help you with that too. Definitely check out Canva. So Canva, it is free. You can pay for it, but it's also free. Test out all of the fun things you can do there. Logo creation, you can create documents. You can make a presentation like this one. You can make journal entries, study guides, resources. Oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless. I love Canva. I've been using them, oh my gosh, I think since 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So it's fantastic and it's free. So check it out. But I also recommend social media. You could have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. This is up to you, but start small maybe. Start with one platform or even two, but get good at marketing yourself as a tutor. Think of things, what would your students want to know? Maybe you would want to talk about, I'm a tutor for this topic, and this is how I structure my lessons. Or maybe you're making a presentation for another student on language skills. Maybe you want to share that language skills presentation, and you could have a title such as, who else wants to learn language skills for your college essay, or something. These are the types of things you'll be posting about. You want to post about things that your students would want to know. In my case, I might post about um, a mock exam practice study guide resource that I have for my nutrition students, or a mock exam practice quiz that is now free online for my pharmacology students. Or maybe I'm going to hop on online on Instagram stories, or a reel or something, and talk about three common misconceptions of the board exam. Or maybe I want to talk about three case study type questions on pharmacology. A, B, C, and D are the answers. What's the best answer? Let's talk about it. I'm going to teach you this topic in like 10 minutes. So the possibilities again are endless. And that's why I love social media, because you can do all of these things for free. You don't have to go door to door anymore. You don't have to cold call people. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. You don't have to walk into a high school and say, "Hey, my name's Andrea. I'm a tutor. Please help me. I want to make some money." It's all online. You can do all of this. And if you need help, guess what? I can help you. So, the next thing you need to think about is you need testimonials. The more students you teach, the more testimonials you are going to get. Think of your own self, right? When you sign up for a course or buy a product anywhere, you look to see if other people like that product. You look to see, well, where are the testimonials? Did everybody else like the course? You look to see what everybody else is saying. So testimonials will be so important. This will really help you sell and get more tutoring students. Now, what are some common mistakes? So, last but not least, you don't want to charge too much. You don't want to charge too little. Not setting clear expectations with students and parents. If they don't know how your tutoring is going to work, if you have your tutoring sessions every night at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., um, they need to know that. Not, are they going to email you when they're ready for a tutoring session and then you book it that way? Or maybe you're telling them, okay, well, after every single tutoring session, there will be a play by play document. I'm going to give you mock exam practice. I'm going to tell you what you need to improve on. But then you start the lessons and you don't give them any of that at the end. That's not setting clear expectations. So make sure they know what to expect. And so the parents know, the children know, or if you're tutoring students who are, let's say, in college, it's good to let them know what you expect from them and perhaps what they expect from you. Let's say a student cancels the night before every single tutoring session. Are you going to have something um, in your documents that says if you cancel 3 tutoring sessions in a row, you have to pay for one, or unfortunately, you can't be my student anymore? Or are you going to accept prepayment? So they have to pay before their tutoring sessions, or are you going to have them pay afterwards? But these are, again, clear expectations. If they don't know how to pay because you haven't told them, they're confused. You're probably thinking, oh, yeah, shoot, I never did get paid for those 3 tutoring sessions, but it's because you didn't ask. So, all of these things need to be clearly outlined. If you have a document, a tutoring document for every single student of what to expect, how our tutoring sessions are going to work, how much everything is, what to do, what not to do, that will really help them and it helps you as well. Now, poor time management and session prep. This probably happened to me a couple times when I first started tutoring at the age of 19. I just wanted to make money, plus help people, but I wanted to make the money. Um, I was working at Subway at the time, but the Subway was going through renovations where I think I was out of work for like a month, but I'm like, I can't afford to be out of work for a month. I was living in Toronto at the time. And I'm like, okay, what job can I get that I can set my own hours? I can, kind of control things. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to become a tutor because I did always enjoy helping people study. So that was just the next thing. I did that. But the thing is, I would accept any student, but then I would kind of forget to write it down and I would be there to tutor them, but I had nothing prepped. So I would just have them bring their textbook. I would ask them, what do you want to learn today? I would open up that to chapter 6, pharmacology, and then just kind of read it quickly and then teach it to them. They were happy. I don't know how they were happy because that was horrible prepping on my part. But what I would do is I would ask them what they needed help with and then teach them. But it's because I really knew pharmacology. I knew my topic, so I was able to do that. I could kind of teach on the fly. But most people can't do that. So tutoring prep is so important. So there's no confusion. So you don't know what you're teaching and it just makes you look bad. And you don't want your student paying for that when you're just like, um, let me look this up real quick. Or, oh, you have a question about the Krebs cycle that I can't answer right now. I'll get back to you. Nothing looks worse than that. So you want to prepare. You are going to tell them what you're teaching them or have them tell you what they need help with, and then you prepare for that. And then to rely on only one platform for students. So this just basically means try to market your tutoring services everywhere. Maybe there's a library you can post in, either online or in person. Post in many different Facebook groups that make sense. Like you're not going to post in a I love dogs Facebook group when you're tutoring about pharmacology. That doesn't make sense, but you would post in dental assisting Facebook groups or dental hygiene Facebook groups, depending on what your niche is, right? But post everywhere. Don't be afraid to have a website, social media, market yourself, and word of mouth. So, you guys, my name's Andrea again. I am here to help. Here is my email. Reach out to me if you need help. I will leave the link for you down below for the Tutor Mentor ASAP Academy if you want to join in on my tutoring classes where I teach you how to start a tutoring business, how to have a successful tutoring business, exactly what to do, what equipment, supplies you need, how to find your first students, no matter what your niche is. I can help you find your first students, what to charge. So you can start off making $10 per hour to $100 per hour, getting multiple students. If you're good at what you do, you can do this. You can work from home, you can have flexible hours. And tutoring, people need tutors. So let me help you. I've been doing this for 21 years. I love what I do. And every tutor that I've worked with has said, I love what I do. I'm so glad I became a tutor. People need more and more tutors all the time. So, you guys, please reach out. Let me know if you need anything. Do me a favor, click like if you like this video. I can do more just like this. I am here to help. So, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.